welcome to Council's Corner, the show where you can watch a group of people try to figure out how to stream in VR. And then here we go.
Sounds about
Ready?
right. Yeah.
Ready? So guys, are we gonna stream after the fall, or are we gonna talk about it after the fall?
Well, we can start by talking about it.
Hey, listen, Avatar man, shut your face.
Hey, it's fine.
Welcome to the show. What's up, guys? Welcome to another Wednesday night shit show. Starting your friends from the Council's Corner. And you're not allowed to laugh that hard, man. You can't go that hard when you're an Avatar, man. It's not fair. It's not fair. You gotta relax. But anyway, it's going to be a fun evening, as everybody can tell. So, Kitty, how are you doing, brother? You look excited. I can tell.
Super excited. Happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to be with you guys. Happy to be streaming something tonight that's super well planned.
You won't believe it.
Hey, Kitty, I do want to ask you because sometimes
believe your eyes.
Sometimes we just talk about what's been going on. So I saw. Did you personally make or mod your own? What do you call them? The full
body tracking. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's go there. What are we talking about? Let's introduce it to the people that don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah. So in VR chat.
Hi, Sermaldo, by the way. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
You're welcome. Let's get you in the screen.
You're welcome.
Buddha's more interested about Kitty's feet.
I was just thought it would be a quick thing, and we can all talk about what we've been doing. But no, yeah, let's just.
Oh my God! Let's rush to the content we don't have.
Yeah. So.
Whoa.
Was that just a battery?
We tagged this.
I'll tell you what it
zombies.
is at some point.
No, it's zombies, all right, but not how you thought. It's just us. We're just the zombies.
We're the zombies.
Tonight, that's us. Oh, yes. Okay, all right. We've been put in our corner. Yes, go ahead.
So in VR chat, you can do full body tracking, which should be pretty obvious by the name. It's where you can track your whole body. So, one of the downsides of using a Quest is you have hands and a head. And that's the only 3 points that VR chat's able to track for you. But sometimes when you're playing, you see people like laying down, kicking their feet around, doing stuff with their feet. And fucking chat. And so, it's kind of like, how do you do that with your feet? Because you don't have feet. And so, yeah, what I did this week is I made a set of trackers that I can use to basically strap to my knees and my ankles and my waist.
What do you use to strap them to you without damaging them?
So to test them, I zip tied them to myself.
I wish I could.
Interesting thing for your wife to walk in on.
I'm a big fan of Velcro.
But
that sounds like
I've got.
What are you doing, honey? You just got zip ties all over my body.
Hey man, it's new
so
features.
what I did is, have you guys seen The Fifth Element?
Fuck yes.
You know that outfit that Lilu wears when they first get her? It's the thermal straps around her body.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered one of those off of Etsy, and I'm going to sew these into it. That's what I'm going to do.
Are you not joking?
Yes, I'm joking.
I was hoping that was real. Damn it.
No. So what I did, I've ordered a bunch of nylon webbing or nylon web strapping, which is like all the crap they use to make belts and things like that. So I'm basically got those and a bunch of buckles, and just going to make straps that I can tighten up. They're not going to be elastic, probably not going to be that comfortable, but realistically, the main reason I'm doing this is so I can make animations, so I can do motion capture animations. I maybe I'll wear it when we're actually playing VR chat, but again, it's not a whole lot of point to it. It's a silly thing to do. I sounded like a challenge, and the way most people do it is they buy these fucking $180 pucks. You got to have at least 3 of them, and then you got to buy these $200 base stations. You got to have at least 2 of those, and then you're still only tracking from one direction, and you have to be facing the base stations for it to track you that well. So I mean,
all of that to
you
make
know.
your toes wiggle.
And so, well, not even your toes, but your feet.
And I was curious, you said feet, but yours, if I saw correctly, you're connecting yours to your knees. Do some people connect them to the feet, or is there a difference?
So there's 5. So 2 go on my ankles, 2 go on my knees, and 1 goes at my waist.
Got it.
So,
okay.
So then you get the full tracking of the leg.
Got it.
And then you can add little sensors to the ones at your ankles to actually go out to your feet. So then you can also control the tip of your foot. But yeah, so you can get that full body tracking. You can do one at your chest too. You can put them on your elbows if you wanted to.
Eventually, they'll have rings and stuff where it'll track your fingers.
Individual finger. Well, I mean, hand tracking is getting so good that we won't really need that.
I mean, it'll just be cameras looking at you at that point, and you won't need all these devices all over you. It'll just be 2 or 3 cameras instead of tracking stations, and it'll have full tracking.
So,
from...
has anyone seen the Beat Saber mods for full body tracking? Because if not, I want to see Kitty use it. So you can play Beat Saber with your feet instead of his hands, and he could just skid side to side. It looks ridiculous.
Do you not see me? I mean, I know you don't see my physique because I don't ever point the camera down. But I mean, the last thing I'm going to do is exercise in VR. So
I was assuming 6-pack and
yeah, you're right. Keep thinking that.
Anyways, Kitty, that's cool. I'm super interested in that. Just even though there's not many games using it, just the concept of it. Because VR sometimes at this point is I might not do this all the time, but sometimes just kind of it feels like a step in, into some sort of futuristic.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
And it is a cool aspect of it. So right now, game wise, officially you've got Blade and Sorcery, and then VR chat, and then the other apps like VR chat, the ones where you just go hang out. A lot of those take advantage of full body tracking. But really the only game is Blade and Sorcery. So you can kick.
Blade and Sorcery isn't even a fully out game yet. You got Blade and Sorcery? When did you get that? I didn't think you had that.
I don't.
I do.
It's just one of the games you can play with it.
It's a game I'm super excited for once the full campaign comes out.
Yeah, I will get it. I know that, but I know if I played it right now and it's early access, I would be disappointed, and I would rather wait
it's an awesome simulator in the current form, but that's really what it is in the current form.
But it's just a sandbox, though. That's the problem.
It's not right. It's not a
but
game.
I mean, on PC, from what I've seen, people do a lot of mods for it. And so
what they want to do is with
Jedi
all of those
mod that looks
sandbox
really cool.
mechanics, they want to make a fully unlockable level up, like Skyrim's type experience with a campaign story. That's what they're hoping to make with it. And it's even when you open the game, it says on the right, coming soon, it has the main mode, and then on the left it has the sandbox. So it's something they're definitely going to do. It's just until that point, it's hard to justify it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
is it multiplayer, that game?
No.
Yeah.
So it's a sandbox and you play by yourself.
That's the problem.
See, at least if you could walk around with people in the sandboxes like in these other games.
The physics is cool, but it's a physics.
Yeah, but are you buying it? Yeah, but you're really buying a game at this point just for are the physics that good that it's worth it?
When I got it, I viewed it as backing the project. So there is that mindset. I wouldn't get this expecting to be a full game. It's not in that.
That's why I didn't get it.
It's great for for people who want to mod it on PC. But like, but aside from that, for just like, you know, everyone else, us Sad Quest standalone boys, it's just not worth it at the moment.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed when I opened it up and saw that it was you like have to find a way to play the game at this point. Like it doesn't just play itself. You know, you gotta like figure out where the fun is to enjoy the game. Which
That
once
sounds
you
like
do, it
another
can be
game we're
fun.
not talking about.
Oh well, yeah.
Oh, it's
that is
okay.
similar.
We can talk about whatever we want.
But it has a ton of potential.
Nothing's on the
and
docket.
I'm also looking forward to the single player mode as well, because I think it will be a lot of fun if they realize something out of it.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah, it just seemed like it wasn't, you know, they promoted it, like you said, like as like a really interesting like physics thing, like walking around doing the stuff. And I'm like, that's just not enough, like compared to what's out
Well,
there.
see, I don't
you
think
know?
they've really. I had no idea. Wow, I'm a little stoned. Sorry, guys. I had no
What?
idea that it had a full campaign in the works, where like all the stuff you can just like get sandbox. You'd have to like get to a certain level to like unlock. Why are my lips not moving? I look like a mummy. Sorry, everyone. I'm too high. I've now seen this and I can't unsee it. Oh no. I'm just staring at my. Oh, look at
You look
this.
like you're
So,
gargling marbles.
anyways,
Yeah.
so Kitty talked about his fun thing. What I'm curious about, Bonely, is and we can all talk about, or at least us guys can talk about it. We had the what are we calling them for the dash? What did we do this week? Prelims or
We did the
These are the
playoffs.
playoffs. Yes.
Very different from
Playoffs.
preliminaries.
I'm bad with sports terminology. I don't know what I'm doing.
Kind of the
Anyways,
opposite.
Bonely, how did it go? How did it go,
Yeah.
Bonely?
It was fun. It was fun. We had 3 Grand Prix in which people raced one single Grand Prix, and the top 2 racers move on to next week. And in the first race, it was Bobo and Dakota won. In the second race, it was Sormaldo and Budo. And in the third race, it went to sudden death, and Zakun edged me out. And it was Psychedelic and Zakun to move forward next week. So next week, the 6 of them will race in a single Grand Prix, and then the top 2 will do a single race to win it all. So yeah, it's been really fun. The season was fun. Learned a lot. We had a lot of interaction. A lot of people that popped in, left. Others that popped in have now joined us in other games and have become, you know, people that hang out and talk. You know. And it's been really nice. It's been really nice. And for the next season, we have plans and ways to make things a little bit tighter. And you know, we're gonna do it again. It's gonna be fun. And I'm looking forward to next week to see who wins.
Cool. Yeah, I had fun with it. Well, how about you, Sormaldo? What's been your thoughts on it since?
It's been fun. Bobo makes it hard to be competitive because he's so damn good. Like I basically want to congratulate him on his win right now. But I guess we'll see if he goes bowling next week or not, and that will decide who wins, I guess.
Well, you know,
You got
man,
1 week left to talk him into bowling.
he's had some Grand Prix where he didn't win, and he certainly has had single races that he hasn't won. There's been plenty of single races that he hasn't won. So there's still an opportunity to win. If you get him on a one-on-one and you get a little bit of jump and he gets caught up with the bots a little bit, you're off to the races. You know what I mean?
You know what we need to do is go back and analyze all of the screenshots of the scores and figure out which maps it was that he did bad on.
I can do
There's some
that.
maps we have to choose.
So I can do that, but I just want you to know it's going to be on the same time frame that I upload leaderboard scores. So you might not get this inside information until an hour before the race.
It's more than likely like a week after the race you'll have that information.
Information dropped mid-season too. Ronaldo, I got that info. It's week 3. You're like, okay, wonderful. He's like, but you have to follow me in my world to find it.
I hid it in a
Meet me in
random
VR
room.
chat.
Oh, God.
It's in one of these buildings. Yo, you know what was fucked up though? You know what actually pissed me off? Something crazy. Zakun taught me something about the race Dragon Realm that I didn't know beforehand that she knew that was a huge fucking tactical advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And I'm like, how did nobody mention this or say this the whole
Have
fucking
anything to do
time?
with the rings?
What is it? What's the secret?
The rings? What rings?
Don't
Just
you fly
no.
through some
Ignore
rings
the
on that one?
rings and just tell us the secret.
You wanna know
Don't
the
play
secret?
guessing games. We
Yeah,
don't
tell
want to
everybody.
I'm excited.
Blow her
Alright,
secret out.
alright.
No, I'm
Alright,
already
don't tell, listen.
pre-annoyed at the preamble here.
It's just between us. Alright? It's just between us, alright?
Okay.
You know when you hit those fucking things, the red things in Dragon
Go in
Realm
your face.
that go in your face and they blow up into birds?
Can you go like
can
this
fuck-
and move them?
You can swat them.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you
I bet
kidding
you
me?
Bobo's
You
known
know
this
how
all
many-
along.
Do you know how many times those fucking things hit me in that race that I raced her? I'm like, are you joking? I could have just been like,
So wait,
And that's
the birds,
it,
like
like-
the red hummingbirds?
not
It's the
the
kite
thing that
thing
gets shot at you. It's
that
the
are flying
thing
across
on that stage
your
that
face.
that come in front of your face, and when they blow up, you get hit by the ducks. It stops you just like a duck's. What the fuck does phrasing mean?
Yo, you've never seen an archer?
Phrasing.
No, I don't know what the
This
hell
is how
you're
you
talking
get
about.
ants.
Oh, man.
Do you want
But-
ants?
Nah, but they yeah, but yo, you could just knock those fucking things away. Like, you know what a big difference that is? That's like 3
Oh, yeah.
different times I'm like stopped still that I could have just went like that and she
Hey,
beat me by
totally.
3 seconds.
Would
I'm
you
like,
say that
like-
while you were racing, you were in a zone of danger? Where?
what? What? Avatar man?
Were
What'd you
you
say?
in a zone of danger?
A zone of danger?
Danger zone!
The danger zone?
It'd be really funny to you if you watched good TV. So
I do watch good TV. You guys watch.
you're
Oh,
always
no.
like, "Do you
I
guys
don't
see
get
The
TV.
Sopranos last week?" No,
I
none
I
of
didn't
us
see the
watched
fucking
The Sopranos.
I didn't watch. No, I'm not a huge big Sopranos guy. I mentioned The Wire. I mentioned The Wire because The Wire is the best show that ever existed. And if you haven't seen it, shame on you.
Hey, Bumblebee,
So-
what's your shirt tonight? Just out of curiosity,
Don't you go there?
what's
Knowing
your
that,
shirt?
knowing that
Let's-
the individual that made the shirt would come and kill you in your sleep.
What's the shirt you're wearing tonight? Like, jeez, I'm giving you an opportunity to show off your shirt.
It's
It's
the
very cool.
official original.
We didn't talk about it last time you wore it.
Boonley
I
shirt.
felt bad. We didn't.
No, you didn't.
Boonley?
It's the official
He
Boonley.
sabotaged himself for no
On,
reason.
on that note, I'm with Bonely wearing a shirt with me on it.
Yeah,
Nice.
see,
This
you
looks
got the
awesome.
I'll have my
Nice.
Malo shirt on
Budo.
right
That's a good looking shirt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Whoever made this graphic really knew what they were doing. It's pretty dope.
now.
What's crazy to me is like, that's you. Like,
It's either Budo or it's the guy from Robin Robbins. I can't tell.
I don't know
Yeah.
what Robin Robbins is.
That's okay.
I don't either, unfortunately.
That's okay. A little joke for the older crowd. It's all good. Shout out to my old heads. You guys got that joke. It was funny.
But yeah, no, thank.
Look him up. Look him
Thanks,
up right
Kitty.
now.
It
Robin
does
Robbins.
look
He had a
good.
beard. Robin
No.
Robbins had a beard, and it had a stud in the beard. He had a stud in the beard. They were a jewelry company. Robin Robbins. Yeah. Look it up. This is funny. Pull a picture of it if you can.
I'm good.
You'll love it. No,
I
pull it up.
trust
I'm
you.
telling you. It's quality content.
We're
Throw
gonna
the
we're gonna
picture up.
trust you on this one.
So,
Alright. Shoot yourself in the
zombies.
face. Uh-oh.
Hold on, before we get to zombies. I have an
Oh, here's just a
important
question. Was it Robin? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is Robin Robin still with us, or are they a zombie?
I don't fucking know. You think
Okay.
I'm keeping up with Robin
Guys,
Roberts?
I hate to
I don't know where he is.
What?
I hate to take
doing?
away this important
you doing
moment
right
from
now?
you guys.
You are
but,
taking it away.
We do
Whatever
have to
fuck.
move into our next segment.
Oh shit! I had to do the news tonight. I totally forgot.
Unacceptable. Where's the news?
No, okay, yeah. There. It's been kind of a quiet time for the news.
What?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of stuff going. Wait, what? You got something, Bonley? What? Are you gonna
Man,
be
that's your job. Last I checked, it said
Wait, you're
Budo
saying what? Like
news.
you know that there's something really good.
Last I saw, it said Budo news.
It does, but I'm just saying it's a.
It
I'm
says
just
the
saying,
news with Budo. Let's just
with Budo, not with Bonely.
I know. So then
What's
just
the
let me
news?
see that
You
there's
got the
not much
hat
going
on?
I've
Dude, you got
things.
the hat on?
Dude,
You ready?
let me
Like,
see the things that aren't much of things.
The news is great.
the news is that Budo tried to sabotage me in the game last night. That's the news. He tried to secret boss me in the game.
We have
He was
conflicting
mad.
opinions. We're
He was
already on our way to
mad
success.
He was mad that I didn't listen to his plan. And when the horde came and I ran out of bullets, he didn't fire a damn shot. He didn't fire a single shot.
Yeah, you know what
I
happened? though?
remember that.
You know what happened?
remember
though?
that.
We won
I do.
that level. We lost
We
the one
did win that
before where we
level.
did what you said. You just ran.
And what
on
happened
in
in
there.
what happened in the end stage when I kept the healing to myself when Budo asked for one.
That's because you couldn't rest me and I killed the
Yes.
fucking thing.
I kept it myself and then I rocked
I
out.
think our PvP match where I beat you with 23 kills.
No, I don't
speaks
remember
for
that.
itself.
I don't
I
remember
do
that.
remember. I remember that. It
I
was
don't
you and
remember
Sakun
that.
versus
I don't
me
remember that.
for
You
a
guys
while
said
So,
there.
You
why
guys
don't
are
we
some dudes
introduce
out
the
there. I
game we're
don't
talking
remember
about a little bit?
I don't
No,
remember that.
real quick
I do
though,
not
just
recall.
The game's
We'll
called
get-
News.
The game's called The News. Budo, let's hear it.
yeah, no, there's like I said, there's not a ton of stuff going on, but there is something interesting. A couple of things. A website that I do like, check out VR Scout. They've got a good interview with one of the developers of the Among Us VR, and it was just kind of cool hearing about that because that's we're all looking forward to that game on VR. And he
Are
talked
we
about,
though?
I mean,
yes.
Shit, I am.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Is it going? No, but let me ask you a question. Did they say anything in what you saw that is going to differentiate it from what we've been playing in VR chat?
That's a good question. Actually.
There will be more than one
Yeah.
level. That's
Yeah, more than
the
one
big
map.
thing I'm looking forward to.
and they have
One map, like a couple
yeah
maps.
more than one
It
map.
has to
and
be
they-
substantial.
Say
for
I
me to
But
saw
you're
like
like
still
5
just walking
maps.
around each other accusing people of shit. What's the matter? if
No,
there's a
no,
Right,
different
but
map?
they completely
It's-
redesigned all the activities
It's
that you do.
been and it's been very balanced. So it's not as hard for the teammates to win, for the crew to win, because you can stack up your task and everything and win. And they've made all of the tasks like fun and interactable. It's going to work and look a lot better than the VR chat version we play, which is already a ton of fun.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more
Alright.
functionality. You won't be able to turn into your giant murder monster and all that shit.
The point of death will still be intact.
So
We'll see about that.
so that's on VR Scout. Another thing I saw on VR Scout that's good is this just happened a little bit ago. But
He's
a VR
literally
developer,
just scrolling through that website right now,
yeah.
coming up with news. Oh, and
No.
another thing from this week.
Yeah. But these are the most interesting things that I could find. Other websites don't have that much more. There was some stupid thing about Meta making people angry, but oh my god, what a surprise! That's just every week. Somebody's mad at Meta. in
Ouch.
that's both in both
Just coming
ways.
from my
Sorry,
fucking
man.
Yeah,
Somebody put on YouTube, a VR developer, he built a whole VR game while he was in VR in 24 hours. He was already obviously skilled at knowing how to do that, but I thought that was interesting. Somebody making a VR game using VR. Is
that a video or is that just something that happened?
There's a video on YouTube. It was a little bit too long, and I didn't find it interesting enough to actually show on the show. But if it's something you want to look into, then
It was boring. Look into it.
it's not boring. It's not something you would.
Greatest pitch ever. No, this is the end of the Budo news segment. It was boring looking up yourself.
It was boring. You fucking watch it.
I hope that the graphic keeps getting cooler and cooler. By the way, because I love the addition of the Budo graphic on the news.
I think we gotta somehow put Budo's face in it at the end. It's gotta be like
Use the imprint from his T-shirt.
It is.
yes.
No, like
It is.
have a real picture and
No, like
the
his
T-shirt
face,
one,
no.
like looking
Oh,
at
I
each
see
other.
what you're saying.
Yeah, like your
Oh,
accent.
okay.
Like no, it should be the logo, and the logo
It should be the
become
logo.
his face.
Yeah,
The logo
Oh,
should
okay.
become his face. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Or vice versa, a picture of him and then it fades away and the logo
Fades away
to the
zero
logo,
glasses
This
stay.
is
That'd be
part
cool.
2 in our series. Crimson or Council Corner learns how to make a VR Twitch stream. Where we start
it's all fucking
developing
process.
work.
If you don't
This is
like
how
it,
you
There's a
develop.
point
it.
where the episodes and the planning for the episodes are just gonna bleed together.
you know what? That's a
Little
thing.
bit.
We should just make the episode up the second that we get on the show. We should. There should be actually. You know what? That could be a fucking thing. We should try it out for like 1 week. It'd be like our no.
What do you mean
no
for 1
plan
week?
show.
We've been doing it for so many weeks.
Every
No,
episode is just us
I'm
planning
talking about
for the next
no.
week's episode.
I'm talking about like zero, like nothing. Like, we just show up, like, all right, what the fuck y'all want to do? Just figure it out.
That sounds like fucking Barney's. Like whatever. Like you're gonna show up, Barney. What we're gonna do today? Like I don't know. That brought back some childhood memories.
Something Barney touched you inappropriately, bro. You okay?
Oh,
Something happened.
I'm a fool. You
That's a lot of
corrected me and
stuttering.
told me they're not blunts, so I can't think of the word. But
You know
I'm
what?
now 2 full blunts deep in less than
I'm thinking.
45 minutes. So
All right, more planning, Kitty. Let's make Barney the word of the day.
that's never gonna be said again.
I
When
might
are we
just say it
ever
to
gonna
fuck with
say
you.
Barney?
Well, now that I know it bothers Meta, I might be saying it a lot.
I like how
Anyway.
Avatar looks
I
like
might need to. I
morose
was gonna
while
say
he's
I
laughing.
might need to find. I might need to find Barney on fucking VR chat. I'm just gonna show up as Barney.
Yo, that was my favorite thing. Is like when I was like 4, I love me some Barney.
Doesn't sound. It sounds
So,
like Barney in VR. You're welcome.
Anyways, that concludes Budo's news.
Shimano.
Yeah,
I forgot it was still the news. Play the stinger again.
no, Kitty's just out.
Couldn't handle it.
I'm having trouble breathing.
Oh no. I feel like
I'm good.
some of us are.
I'm fine.
I feel like
The
some of
blood
us
was not
are-
full. I was trying to laugh.
I think some of us are more sober than others. I'm just throwing that out there. And I
Although-
apologize.
So the news is good, but I did want to because I asked Kitty.
Was
and
the
Boney-
news good?
Yeah, it was great. Didn't you see how good that was?
No,
Our
he's
best
taking
segment
credit.
so far.
He's taking
So
So the
credit.
news
Oh,
was
man.
excellent.
Yeah, but I
But I still wanted to
amazing.
ask Med and Sermaldo what they've been up to for the past
Oh,
week in VR.
I've been
Like,
fucking destroying zombies in After the Fall. And After the Fall.
After the Fall has been my primary VR game in the last week or so. I've been
I
I
have
did pick up
bought
No Man's
lots of
Sky, which I've been
hours.
playing. But I've been playing it flat because I've got it on Steam, and I can't get Steam to run well on my Quest 2 yet. So
Yeah, I have played a lot of After the Fall. I've unlocked a lot of the harder stuff in there. I've almost unlocked everything at this point.
even like
Yeah.
the skins, because some of those skins have some insane requirements.
Yeah, I have the hardest skin.
You're sitting there
I
going
have
like
level
this now.
37 skin. And the damn it. Why?
It's very flamey, his skin.
Yeah, it's the level 37 unlock. I had to. Why is my mouth not working again? Anyways, fuck. I had
Yeah,
to.
before he says, oh yeah, no. In After the Fall, what it is, it's a first person basically zombie shooter. Although they don't turn you into zombies, so I don't know if they're actually
I'm so
zombies.
high,
they're
bro,
they're
you can't
snow breed,
remember.
right? Is that what they are?
I'm never gonna
That's what
remember.
they call them.
Yeah. So it's basically just kind of like wannabe White Walkers. I don't know. Yeah, but
You
anyway,
think
so
so?
Yo,
they're closer to that
totally
than
White
zombies.
Walkers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I mean,
guess
they're
so.
zombies. White Walkers is more like what they look like they are because it's funny.
I
The
guess.
White Walkers
But how
are-
do they get created? Because not that I'm expecting a huge story from the game, but like, I don't know.
I
The
don't know.
war? You're looking for the war?
I don't
get-
think
like,
there's much.
There isn't there. Like I
it's
said, I'm not
limited.
expecting
It's
it.
limited, but I know it has
Yeah,
something to
I
do
know
with
the
the
lore.
temperatures or something. Oh, you do?
So yeah, at one
ahead.
point there was a game called Left 4 Dead. This game mutated from that game when it was given.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I don't know.
No,
It's
No.
totally a Left 4 Dead ripoff in every way, but I love it for that because
I mean,
love Left 4 Dead.
that's what's
so
great about the game. It's just
if
it's
Valve
just
had
fun.
gotten to it first, they could have had my money.
It's just fun. That's all that it is, and it knows that it's just fun. It doesn't need to have like a really in-depth story. It's just fun gameplay.
Yeah, and it has enough of a story, and I actually like the little comedy that goes on when you're hanging out in the hub too, like the little remarks that the guy makes over the speakerphone and stuff. He has some pretty funny shit to say if you pay
So,
attention.
you guys really don't know the lore at all?
Not
I know
really.
very little. I just know that you
I
need
guess I
harvest
have
to
played a lot
survive.
more
It has
of
to
it. So
do
the
with your
reason you need
temperature.
harvest is
Or
because
with
you
your
use
temperature,
harvest to
right?
make the juice that keeps people alive. So you're using like the zombie's blood to like make an antidote or like a short-term antidote
like
essentially to
soiling
like heal you
green
each time.
Out of
Yeah, so, like,
zombies.
you're-
Interesting.
Yeah, and so that's why you have to go out and get them. And so the harvesters are you guys, and you're going back to like the safe zone where all like the normal people are who aren't going risking their lives constantly, and you guys are going out to collect the harvest to keep everyone alive. That's the lore, but it doesn't make a ton of sense. It's not very lore rich. It's cool though.
Yeah,
Interesting.
which is fine. I mean, it reminds me of, I mean, me and Meta, we were talking about how what makes like VR first person shooters different. And I think I'd said it in a stupid way last night, but basically it's like I've never been into first person shooters. I've never played a single Call of Duty or Modern Warfare. Like that's never been my game. But as soon as VR came, for whatever reason, that made first person shooters interesting to me. And I think it reminds me of the old school arcade games where it's the big screen and you actually point a real gun and it actually can track it. And back then it was just you could never own something like that. But VR is so much better than that. It's not just a screen, it's all around you. So that's been fun for me. This is it just reminds me so much of an arcade game. And so I'm totally respect it not having any lore because it's just more like go in, shoot some stuff, have fun.
It is pretty self-explanatory. One thing I was going to say about the difference for me between flat games that are FPS and VR games that are FPS is that like when you're playing a flat game, it is so much different when you're aiming at stuff because there's the aiming reticle in the middle of the screen, and there's so many of them. Sure, they'll have your weapon somewhere on the screen, but it's not the way it really is in real life, where the weapon takes up a lot of your view if you're trying to aim down the top of it, like through the sights. And VR does that so much more
you
realistically,
actually
where
have
the gun
to
is in
aim.
your face, it's in your way, like it makes it way more realistic in that it's actually difficult to aim in a lot of ways. And so like if you get good at shooting from the hip, it actually feels really cool because it's like that is a difficult skill to learn as well, but you're not getting the advantage of getting to look down the sight like you do I don't know. It's just very different, and I like it a lot. But it makes it a lot more challenging too, because with a flat screen FPS, you're just looking at the middle of your screen, and you just line up a dot with wherever you're trying to fire.
So manual reloading makes that a whole different game. I wish my mouth would sync. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry I'm a mummy.
You better apologize.
But
man. That's pissing me off too.
anyways, yeah, it's pissing
Yeah,
me
that
off.
mouth thing is making me angry.
Anyways, so stop giving me that face. I'll never get through my sentences. But manual reloading makes it such a better game, though, because you'll run into a lot of people at higher difficulties. They're like, you have to. I even watched a video on YouTube. I can't remember who it was by, but it was like, you can't play nightmare difficulty without doing quick reloading because it just takes too long. And it's so not true. You can do manual reloading. You just have to get really good at it. Like I do that shit so fast now. I thought about like it makes you have to do it fast. Like I actually reload faster with manual at this point than I do with the quick reload.
How is that possible? Quick reload is like, boom, you're reloading.
It gets that's the point. It takes me about the same amount of time now.
So the extra damage actually feels worth it. Instead
It's
of
way worth it.
feeling like you're not.
Oh yeah, I reload so quick that it really doesn't matter.
What about with two weapons though? Like, are you able to
Same
do the
deal.
whole thing with two weapons in your hands?
Yes, it just you grab
You
the
just
ammo.
grab with the opposite hand.
Yeah, and then your gun disappears, and then as soon as you
let
let
me
go of
just
the
say,
ammo,
it
your gun
doesn't-
reappears.
It doesn't take me 35% longer than it does for you to reload, and I get all that extra damage.
Interesting.
Although our damages have been similar
I've
in
been
some
like,
of these things.
well, next time we play, I'll actually play, and you can see the
Oh,
difference.
wow, I can
shit.
tell. I can
Oh,
tell,
shit.
motherfucker. There's sometimes where you're
Just
playing
threw
where I
it
told
down.
you, I'm like, oh, he's messing around on this one. But there's other times where you've been playing where you're trying, and I can tell you're trying. And so it's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. No, but you are
Yeah.
nasty at the PvP though. But on the runs, you know,
Oh,
it's still
man,
a
I haven't
team.
tried
It's
the
still a
PvP
team
yet.
effort.
Of course, it's a team effort.
I did one PvP match. It was fun. It was
It is fun.
different. It's very different.
And you have to manual load, so that was really
Yeah.
fucking me up.
That's the reason I stopped doing quick reload, because they force you to
Yeah.
do the manual reload.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I've done Population 1 and Rec Room, some VR chat stuff, but it's so different in After the Fall. Like, it feels really good. Like, the
Yeah.
PvP feels really good. It was also pretty hard. Like, one guy in there, it's the same as every game, I guess, you know. The people that play it all the time. So when you get into there, you know, you're going to get your ass handed to you. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Are
It's
there
also
private
crazy.
lobbies, or
Yes,
is it
there
always
are
a
private
Yeah.
lobbies.
Yes. Yep.
There are
You
private
can do
lobbies,
What's
so
the
it's
minimum
more-
number of people? Can you 1v1 if you wanted to?
You can 1v1 if you want
You
to.
can 1v1. Yeah.
Interesting.
You can even open a
1v1
game
me, bro.
while it's just you. I started a private lobby where it was just me in a free-for-all game, but I realized after about 5 minutes that I could never win.
After running around, you just like,
I was like, where is everyone?
I win.
But it's actually a nice touch because it gives you the option to explore the arena where if you couldn't see it otherwise and you just keep
Oh.
getting murked, it's nice.
That's true. Get familiarity on where the guns drop and like where you. The only thing you would miss out on is getting used to spawn locations.
I mean, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. No, the game is really fun. It really is fun, and I mean, there's a reason why everybody in the group, in the main group, has been jumped on this game and has been jumping it and playing. It's not because it's random. It's because it's done really well, and in
Oh,
direct
I've
opposition,
played
in
Medal
direct.
of Honor in VR, and this is way better when it comes to PvP.
Well, I'll tell you this. In general, in contrast to other games like Zenith, where we were it's back.
Well done.
It was Zenith. Oh, man. So this game, when you're playing, you don't want to cheat it. Like you don't want to.
There are ways to cheese it, but I have no
There are.
desire
I've
to
heard
share
of them.
them because it's
Yeah,
not fun.
Yeah, people have mentioned them, like, oh yeah, doing all these things, and I'm like, I'm not even interested because the game is really good. I'm not looking for that. I don't need
And
that.
I can
I'm
tell
having
you
fun
that
just
in
doing
public
it.
parties, most of the time, I've run into people that don't want that. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, you run into people that do, but more often than not, I don't feel like I'm just running into a group of people that wants to do that.
Because it's more about playing the game than doing bullshit so you can play another part of the game.
Correct. You don't feel
And
any of
that's
it.
how
Like,
you can have a game that has bullshit in it, but that people don't exploit that bullshit. That's how you do it, because you can never truly fix
Exactly.
all the bugs. You just make the gameplay more enticing than breaking your game.
you know
So
what
in
they've
certain
done?
cases, when you do the opposite, things like the secret word happen.
Yes. Well, you know what? You know what's interesting in that
He who
they.
shall not be played.
Well, think about it this way, right?
What'd you say?
In MMOs,
He who shall not be played.
uninstall though. But what's it called? They if you think about like the end game of the MMO and playing these different raids and things over and over again to achieve something and doing them over, it got so damn redundant because there was no variety. Just felt like there was just absolutely no variety. It was a
Supposed to be
repeat,
drops.
cleanse, repeat, cleanse, repeat, cleanse. It was just the same shit over and over again. Whereas every time I play one of these maps, what they've effectively done is they've made it random enough that you don't feel like you're running the same thing every time. You feel
Yep.
like you're going to the same location every time and different shit's happening because they varied it enough. Now, the only thing that I could possibly complain about after the fall is they have a lack of bosses. That's a little disappointing.
Yep,
I don't want
I
to
agree.
keep seeing the
But
Smasher.
they're
I
doing
think they need a
seasonal
couple
content
unique. They
that
need a
they've
couple
released.
little. Huh?
Was saying they're doing seasonal content, and so they've actually released new bosses in this new season. And so,
Who were
the
no. The only
skimmer.
thing that they released, well, that's not a boss. The skimmer is the
But well, I
little
just mean,
goblin
you
from
know,
Golden
they're.
Axe that you shoot, to get a card.
But the
Um,
point is they are
they're
adding
adding.
content
Yeah,
continually,
absolutely,
and
absolutely. They added
they're
the whole boulevard. The whole boulevard was
yeah.
new, and
Boulevard's
that's
cool as
awesome.
So
shit.
Boulevard's awesome. I mean, what
Boulevard's
they're
best
doing
map.
is great. What they're doing is great, but I think what they need a couple very unique boss characters, and that would just take everything to the next
I'll
level.
tell you what, the Smasher is too easy to be the boss. The brutes,
Uh,
those are the real bosses.
That was terrifying. That one game where there was like 5 of them or something like that. Like,
Yeah, they move so damn quick.
you see that meta? Zay saying she had to carry you.
Oh, I know.
Through
It's
the
because
game,
I wouldn't
did you
shoot
say?
anything. I refused to shoot. She had more kills than me probably. I let her have all those oh shit moments because she had manual reloading on, so I wanted the zombies to get right up on her. And only she was about to die when I killed them.
Nice.
So you were playing like Budo was playing last night.
Oh,
Yep.
not quite.
Anyway,
Because
shout
I
out
was
to Zay
standing
and Kay,
behind
they're in the
laughing
chat.
at her.
Yeah.
I got the last laugh though.
He did, yeah. Boney
That
left me
last
dead,
Literally
and
sat
then
there
left
and
him
was
and then I
dead for the
watched him heal
boss.
himself, and then I was like,
I ran by him and I was like, did
but
he
then
just
now
kill
looking
himself?
back, I'm like, yeah, no, that's exactly what I deserved. So.
I was like, yeah, I needed that to survive.
Oh man, but yeah,
It was fun.
and when it comes to the variety, what I also love is that some games I haven't really enjoyed changing the difficulty because sometimes it just feels overwhelming. But the difficulty changes in this game are actually like doable and fun, and it changes it up. And I don't know, at least to me, I haven't tried nightmare mode yet, so that's a whole other level.
So what's great
Master
about the
is
game,
really fun.
Master's a lot of fun. Nightmare is also a lot of fun, but the way that the game works is that they've really built in a system where like the established players can help like the players who aren't. So the way that I've generally been playing the game is I started in veteran lobbies, and you would get players that would accidentally in your lobby because they quick joined your game and didn't realize they didn't click Nightmare. So you get people that usually play like higher difficulties playing on your difficulty on accident. They're like, I'll just run through it with you. And then they would just give you guns, help you through it. And so at each level, you have like one player maybe that's better at the game. And so they try to help you guys out, like you figure things out. And so you get better. And then by the time you get to master level, if you end up with like a full room of people that are all used to playing on Nightmare, then you start doing Nightmare runs. But usually you can't just do that with a random crowd. It's kind of
No,
neat how it ends up working out.
The community has been pretty cool. Go ahead, Simona.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say I thought of my one gripe for the game, which is that if you're in a party of 3 people and you start matchmaking, if there's one person out there who's been looking to matchmake, they will instantly become the party leader of your new party of 4 people. Even if there was 3 of you, the random guy gets to be the party leader. And if he's just
Really?
been sitting there waiting for a long time, he doesn't always necessarily even start the game right away. He could be AFK for all you know. And so then you're stuck at the whims of somebody who's not on voice chat
That's
with you
weird.
that you don't know, who, you know.
Oh, I had a question about that. How come sometimes when we party up in after the fall, we can hear each other, and other times we can't?
We're in
Does
different
anybody
lobbies.
understand
Right.
Yeah, you're in different lobbies. So you
That
know,
sucks.
like in Zenith, how there's different instances at the dungeons. Like
Yeah.
it's like Damn it. But like the different lobbies, they probably have like 3 or 4 servers, I imagine, because they don't want it to feel like those arcade machines are overpopulated, because they want it to feel small like a zombie apocalypse. So they can't have like 100 people there. It wouldn't really feel like the apocalypse.
I understand that, but they still should have the mechanism that
it should make it once you
should be able to
party,
talk
you
to each
can-
other no matter what.
No, you should portal to the instance that person is in. If you're in a party, and it should optimize. They should have an algorithm that optimizes parties and varies them out so that one server doesn't get overpopulated. Like that shouldn't be ridiculously hard to do. I don't imagine.
And
It should be
Zay
if
just
you all
pointed.
go into
yeah.
the gun editing room and come back out, you should suddenly be in the same lobby together again, since everybody
Yeah.
disappears anyway when you go in there.
That's a good point. Yeah. And Zay just commented in the comments she can't join us on camera today, but she's bummed on the 4-player limit. I mean, I can understand why maybe some games just can't go over. Otherwise, you get the crazy
So there
lagging that
is-
you get game that shall not be named. But I don't know. Yeah.
Kitty,
That doesn't count.
Wait, unless I
Sitting
do
on the
this,
top of it.
it'll count if I do this. There we go.
No one say.
There we go. That's better.
But
Uh,
anyways, yeah, I don't know. Like, do you think? Do any of you guys think? Do you like?
So
It
they
would
do
be
have
cool.
4v4, but it doesn't really feel like 8-player because you can't talk to the other team.
Hmm.
They should make it to at
Yeah.
least to where at the results screen you're able to talk to the other team. I was surprised they went the hard no there. I feel like I should be able to talk to the other side of the lobby when we're not in game.
That's an immersion thing for me, because it's like if you can talk to somebody when they're standing right in front of you, it's not like you have some, like, even if you were trying to like talk to your buddy, if somebody's standing right there, they're gonna hear you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's immersion
Yeah, if they
breaking
had-
for there to be no
yeah.
noise when you're speaking.
in PvP, if they had spatial audio, that would be really cool.
It'd be awesome.
It'd be funny.
You could even
if
have
they,
a
like,
radio,
distorted
you know?
it on the other team,
So
but still heard
Yeah,
you like
walkie-talkie.
wah,
Yeah, walkie-talkie.
that's what Onward has. Onward uses walkie-talkie. So you have to pull the walkie-talkie down from your left vest
Vox
to talk
Mac-
to the other people.
Vox uses that too, the walkie-talkie in the mech.
Yeah,
It's all-
Phasmophobia does it amazingly, and they just got the spatial sound perfect. Like it's really good in Phasmophobia and the walkie-talkie. So
Nice.
that's the only game
And,
that
like,
I've used that.
Echoes and other effects like that.
And
So if
spatial audio
someone's
is
in the
way
room,
important
it sounds like you
VR
hear them through the wall with that muffled and stuff.
those
It's
two
awesome.
games. It really changes because your ears are important. They help you balance all that shit. It helps you feel more like you're there.
Well, I think if you were going to integrate something like walkie-talkies, I would want a much bigger map and larger teams.
Yeah,
Because then you could have comms, you
Sorry,
could
I
switch
lost audio,
channels, you could
so-
have different people in channels
One
and
second.
different things. What happened?
Kitty
Something
lost
happened?
something.
Kitty.
he said he lost
his-
audio. I think.
He lost his ball of yarn. Oh, are we all
I can
muted
still hear you
alive?
guys.
No,
I
I
know,
think,
I can
I
hear
think
you
everybody
guys.
else can hear us.
I
It's
think
just he
Kitty
can't
did it
hear us.
himself.
That's
No,
all
he didn't
talk
mute
shit.
himself. I can
That's
see in
the
the but I think.
Oh no, I
he
think he
hear us.
can't hear us.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Talk as much shit as possible.
There's
Go.
neat.
Kitty
Oh,
can't
neat.
hear anything we're saying.
Yeah, neat's in there and after the fall.
Hey Kitty, if you can hear us out there, wave your hand.
Yeah. No.
I bet even if he could, he wouldn't wave his hand at that request.
Yeah, and Zay just confirmed that they can hear us. So,
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right.
but anyways, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's were all you guys like also into first person shooters before you got into VR?
I liked all the old school ones. Once where I stopped
Counter-Strike.
was Modern Warfare. Once they came out with Modern Warfare, I was like, nah, this is like way too much effort for enjoyment. It's just too crazy. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I
It's
didn't
funny
like
'cause
Modern
I think
Warfare.
people tend to pick like a franchise to get behind. So like people are either into the Modern Warfare games or they're into like the Battlefield games. It seems really rare to me that somebody like really gets into both sets of franchises when it comes to first person shooters.
Interesting.
They
I liked
pick a
just the
favorite.
old school ones. So as you know, when Medal of Honor was the old school games, and then when Call of Duty was in that old school realm, I enjoyed playing with the more primitive weapons. Although I did like Halo, but for some reason when it came to Modern Warfare and I just thought that it just got I don't
Modern
know. It was
Warfare
just
2
too
was one of my
much. It
favorite
was
FPS games of all time,
it was
personally.
just too much for me. I was just like, it's just
Too many
they want
kids
so
sleeping
much
with your mother.
effort. I have no idea what that means.
MW2. I
Oh,
don't
just
I'm just moving on. MW2.
all those annoying teenagers who think they're the best
Yes.
person in the world.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that I get what you're saying. No, I just muted them.
Yeah.
Every first person shooter is full of little assholes. That's all I can say.
And
Yeah.
and
Oh no,
this
but
is
that's the thing. I was a little asshole. You guys misunderstood.
Full of metas.
I was
See?
younger
Terrible.
back then.
Now it all makes sense.
And-
Now it's
and I don't know if
all
it'd be-
making sense.
and I don't know if Half-Life Half-Life 1 and 2 would be considered a first person shooter. I mean, it's from a first person point of view. It's got more mechanics than a normal first person shooter. But while I like those games, like the concept of them, I didn't play them much personally. Like my friend had one, I played a little bit at his house. But anyways, where I'm going with it was with Half-Life Alyx, I was just like, oh, I definitely want this. And that was really my first VR experience of like a really well done first person shooter.
Well,
And a lot of After the Fall reminds me of that game, just the way the mechanics work. It's really just like reloading the guns. And to get back to something that was being said about aiming, that's the thing that I love about first person shooting in VR is the different styles that you can have, and you can modify the gun. Do you want to use the scope? Like, I haven't been using the scope in After the Fall until like last night.
They
I
work.
was like, I was like,
Pretty
oh,
surprising how
okay,
well they
yeah,
work.
this has actually got some value. So, yeah, it's fun.
I have to agree with Neat there, saying Half-Life's one of the best game series of all time. Half-Life 2 was transcendent, like for its time, and it still holds up after all this time. Half-Life 2 is an incredible game.
Yeah, and I've read so much about it, watched so much of it, and I really think that one of the greatest ideas that they had coming with Half-Life Alyx for VR was taking the gravity gun and being like, wait, what if we just made it gravity gloves? And it's
Ooh,
the
that sounds
perfect
fun
thing
as
for
fuck.
VR, because then in like what it does for VR is it's like you see something far away, it gives you a story excuse to why you can just suck it right into your hand, and then it's not just like this random, oh, why is it just popping right? It's like, no, it's because you've got a glove that can
Well,
control
see,
the
I think they sacrificed immersion there for gameplay experience, and in my opinion, it was actually a good one because the gameplay in After the Fall can actually get fairly competitive, and it can be important to have smooth gameplay mechanics. And I think not having something extra might help it to, I don't know. I feel like it's one less thing for the Quest to have to process, so that it's more even between cross-platform. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, totally. I would never expect After the Fall to do the same thing as Half-Life. And like I said before, it's like arcade style. So like it doesn't really matter any of the unrealistic things. You just kind of get over that.
Yeah.
Whereas with Half-Life Alyx, it was super story oriented, like just intense lore, and really dug into making it immersive despite things that seemed off. Whereas After the Fall is like, okay, it's immersive, and even if these things are off, you're going to be busy shooting stuff too much. So, yeah.
Dead air while you guys chat. Yeah.
Nice, good dead air. Yep, always good. But anyways, I'm super glad we're all playing After the. It's again one of the funnest things about the our guild. It's thevrguild.com. We have some other websites too. I'm sure we'll tell you, but it's really fun getting with a group of people. And like we were talking about with Dash Dash, we met new people. They joined our guild, and sorry, I'm being distracted by random fun things. And it was really cool. First we met them in Zenith, then they carried on to other games. Then we started playing Dash Dash. And I didn't say it before, Boney. You got me. Thanks, Boney, for doing the Dash Dash thing and helping run that. It's been super fun. We met more people from that. They came into the guild. And then we've all moved into After the Fall. And, I don't think we've caught anybody from After the Fall yet, but that's because we've gotten such a big group. We're never looking for randos. We're just always like hooking up with people that we know almost all,
Except Meta.
Except for Meta, because he's playing like 20 hours a day. So it's,
I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyways, I think there is such a value to our group that it really is fun to, and then it's just kind of fun to think of what's the next game going to be. We didn't talk about it this time, but me and Meta finally got the new the Tetris game on VR, and we'll talk about that some other time. I'm fun.
Curious to check that out, and I do want to hear your opinions about that.
Yeah. I want you to get it, Sermaldo, and then me, you, and Meta can play the 3-player co-op, and then we can all talk about it.
Ooh, there's a 3-player co-op. That sounds dope.
Oh no, you can do 3v1. So it's in
too.
A boss battle. So like it has like its own boss battle music. So what's really cool about the game is when you move the piece, that's when the music happens. So like they mixed puzzle with music with like an audio visual experience, and it's like a perfect game for a stoner. Let me just say that. Not that anyone out there would or would not be one.
Well, I'm definitely interested in checking it out. I have played Tetris games since the late 80s, I think, so.
Oh, then you're going to love this. They have a boss battle. Like you actually do a 3v1 boss battle, and there's like 10 different bosses. Like Bido, me and you only did.
What does that even mean? What does that mean?
So you go against the constellations. So like you go into like this place and you start up against like
Taurus. The blocks are still falling. Like how are you going against?
As you clear lines, it like does attacks to the boss, and as they clear lines, it does attacks to you. And each boss is like its own unique mechanic. And
are you actually playing Tetris in there, or are you?
It's Tetris with extra mechanics built in.
Like what?
Like you can slow it down. You can build up
slow-mo.
It's more like Dr. Mario than Tetris, but it's Tetris.
Yeah,
I watched a video that said that slowing down thing was only available in like one of several modes.
Yeah, and that's
not true anymore.
Bounce mode.
So that is not true anymore. That's the IGN video I posted probably maybe. So that is no longer true. There is now versus with that mode on and with it not on. So you can do either for multiplayer now.
And just one example for
I thought you'd be in there Tetrising yourself. Be in the
that's the next game. Oh gosh, this is totally random, and I know we're trying to wrap it, but when I did a little library conference recently, we had a whole session about VR, and they had a VR headset that I had not used before. and it was cool. And I tried one game, but the game totally asked you to do these weird poses with your body, and I totally was like too embarrassed to do it because there was like possibly like a bunch of people watching me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just quit this game. I don't want them to watch me be like, woohoo!
Oh, should have gone for it, dude.
His librarian crush was in the corner watching.
He goes full Ace Ventura.
Yeah, that's what I would have looked like. It would have been ridiculous. It would have been like shit. But anyways, to get back to to give one example of the cool things that I liked about the Tetris co-op is when you get to a certain point, all of your like you'll have 3 people and you're doing your own line. Then all of a sudden they all merge, and then you can use your pieces in anybody else's spots. And it's really hard. It's really interesting, and it like strategically you could actually do some things that.
So do you have to do rows all the way across all 3 maps
Yep.
to break a row down at that point?
Yep. And so there's
Wow.
actually an extra mechanic that I found out doing online that you didn't probably pick up because we didn't pick up Ditto. If your block turns purple, then it'll actually move all the blocks down that are above it. So if there's like an empty spot, you drop a purple block on top of it, all of them fall instead of just that one.
Interesting.
Yeah. So all like that, like I've had the game way longer than Meta, and already just like that, he's like, yeah, but I learned all this other stuff that you don't know yet, Budo. So that sounds about right.
So, how much is this game?
I don't know if it's
Here
worth
we
the
go.
It's a little
Here
pricey.
we go.
It is a little pricey.
I don't know if it's worth the full price point. I gotta be
Isn't it
honest.
normally
No one
$25?
is. How much is it?
30. Okay.
30, not on sale for the summer sale.
It was on
Oh, that's
sale.
so- I don't know
It
if it's
was.
on sale or not.
It was. I don't know if it still is, but I know it sounds like a lot, but
It doesn't
Meta
sound
said
like a
it's-
lot. It is a lot.
yeah. But it's all about. Okay, fine. Yeah.
It is currently
No.
$30 on the
Just
Quest
checking.
store.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's
I think it's
steep.
worth like 15
mean,
bucks.
Yeah, that's
my
steep.
honest
Like,
opinion.
is it here? Be honest, because you guys
$23.99
both
on
know it.
Steam.
That's more
That's
reasonable. But
not
what's
that's
going?
not terrible. I feel like that's reasonable for the
Is
game.
it better than Blaze?
Possibly.
If I were going to
It's
say for
very
me
different
what game
games.
I've enjoyed more and what game I've liked playing more,
Well, it's
it's
half the
definitely
price
Tetris.
point. It's half the price.
Oh, for
point.
half the
That's
price
more
point. If you're gonna scale it by price, like you would like square footage.
Well,
and
I did it first. I just
I
did it on
mean-
even scale first. You think Tetris is a better game? Okay.
What about just price point value per entertainment hour? Do you think you're going to get more hours out of Blaze or out of
If-
Tetris
if-
Effect?
if-
I
you
think I'll get
had-
more hours
okay,
out of Tetris,
if
'cause
you-
I can
if
see
you
a lot
had-
of single player experience. It's a very so like the whole point of the game when they made it, because like the game has been being perfected since like the 80s, is like to help you get like a tranquil state kind of thing where it's just like vibing, and it can be like super relaxing and just like, but also fun. And like I've actually got like they use like binaural beats, if you know what those are, to like increase your immersion. It's really cool. It's an experience. It's not something I feel like I've gotten out of games in a long time, but it's different. But I think that it's a surprising feeling to get from a Tetris game that's so basic, like 2D, like early stage pixel game. It's surprising they were able to do what they did with what they had.
Yeah, I was super skeptical about the game for a long time, even though I love Tetris. But I kept reading the reviews, and I was like, "They're saying something."
I
something's
watched
up with
gameplay
this.
of it when I was stoned, and I was like, "Oh my god, this needs to be something I do while I'm stoned. This looks like a like a psychedelic trip as a game. I need to experience."
Yeah,
this.
it's extremely psychedelic, and so I would almost say like the normal Tetris gameplay that we all know, I would say is almost only 30% of the enjoyment. It's like 70% is the ambiance, the music,
What they
the
did with
graphics.
multiplayer bosses is so impressive. Budo. So I've done another 5 stages since we did that, like 5 whole areas, not like boss fights, another 5 areas of 3
Yeah.
boss fights. And they've all been unique. Everything has had a completely unique mechanism. Like one of them sends like, oh, it's so good. I'm so
Interesting. Oh, I
impressed.
can't wait
by it.
to. I'm glad I took a break because I just was playing single player, didn't even go into multiplayer because when I got the game, I didn't have this group. So I would try with randos, but it just wasn't fun. And I
But
will
in
say,
the meantime,
yeah,
After the Fall has been amazing. And
yeah,
it's a great.
it's
For them to be similar
Alright,
price
Tetris-
points doesn't make sense.
This
to
is
me.
downloading right now.
No, this man is the worst. It's gonna
Sweet.
be
Why
my
am I the
ass.
worst?
but again, what I love about
You're damn right.
I
it
love
is.
no,
What
you're the
happened?
best, Kitty. You're
I'm
the
so
best.
No,
confused.
you
What
said
happened?
so to put this into perspective and to help you understand, you said it puts the binaural beats into the soundtrack, and I love Zen. I love Zen, and there's
Oh, you'll love this.
ridiculously a whole lot of great Zen apps on VR. Like a
Oh,
lot
this
of
will help you
the,
relax so much.
So I have been trying a lot of the different meditation apps and things like that, and most of them,
So the guy
like
who
some of them are
built the
cool.
game wanted
like,
to
on-
increase that state more than anything else when making it.
Let Kitty
No.
finish, Meta.
Oh, my bad.
So like honestly, like the best experiences I've found are in VR chat and some of the worlds that are meditation worlds, where like there's music visualizers and stuff around you. But again, it's VR chat, so it has that feeling that you can't get out of in VR chat. And so you said, sorry, my wife just texted me. We just got a bill for $25 from Valve. Is this something we need to be paying?
That was Instakarma
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
that's
That was
plumber, honey.
Instacart.
That's the plumber.
Plumber.
Did a quick fix.
But
It's real cheap.
But so I've been
Replacing
looking for something like that,
valves.
and I'm willing to try that with this because I do like Tetris. It's a good, it's a good time waster game. So if I can hit two birds with one stone, do this when I'm needing, to relax and calm down, then great. Because right now I get stuck in, what is it called? Toon Blast. And that's my time kill game, and that's not in VR. So if I
Oh
can,
no. See, they have like 30 unique soundtracks or more. And
Yeah.
you build the beat with the game. Like every time you move a piece, it's a
Kitty,
different
can you
keystroke.
pull up? Kitty, are you able to pull up the trailer for this game since we've talked it up so much, and maybe After the Fall too, since we named the show Zombies.
I
We
can definitely.
Oh, I want to get in After
yeah.
the Fall first. After the Fall is probably still gonna be my main thing. But this is the guy she didn't tell you about. Like this is what's on the side at the moment.
What an analogy for Avatar Man. I need a shirt with that face that says Avatar Man under it. Oh, jeez. It's not Meta anymore. Meta's the voice. That's the Avatar Man.
Oh no. I'll be a dolphin next time. Careful now.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Dolphins
Yo,
are cool. I won't
your
lie, I used to
sidekick
otter
has
every now
been
and then.
awfully quiet today.
Who's
The
the
sidekick from this week. You don't remember the sidekick?
Oh yeah, his that nice
His trusty
random friend.
sidekick. Are we banned over there from the sidekick making any noise? Does Meta even know what I'm talking about? Because he's so blazed over there.
I have no idea what you're
I
talking
don't know
about.
what you're talking about.
Well, then you guys are not looking in the private chat now, are you?
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, I think Meta's on the leash over there. You can't let it go. Can't let it go.
Oh, you mean
that? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Boneley.
We
We
were
were
really
really
needing that. Yeah.
that's what we really needed. Yeah.
Not a complete episode
Man's-
about that.
It's Avatar Man's trusty sidekick.
Oh, man.
I'm just trying to buy time for Kitty to pull the preview up.
Oh yeah, you're doing a great job. It's totally working.
You're welcome.
Hmm.
Now you're just Avatar Bear.
Avatar Bear.
No, just call me Smokey Bear.
Oh, here we go.
I hear something.
Just say it right out. VR's Left 4 Dead.
I mean, it's too close to not just be called a ripoff, but I'm okay with it because they did a good job. It wasn't actually a VR Left 4 Dead out. And it's fun. They earned the money as far as I'm concerned, and they earned the money of being called.
Oh, it's an awesome game. It looks
That was good. That was-
It's a huge compliment, really. Next
Like,
time
I
we're
just
going
want
to
you
talk
guys
about
to
a
know the
game for most of the
gameplay looks
episode, we
a
should
ton
play
of
the
it.
thing at the beginning of the episode instead of right at the end.
like that doesn't look like generated. Like that's what it looks like on PC VR, just about.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you know?
because I've seen the videos.
But you haven't. But you haven't experienced it.
Have
I don't need to.
Experienced it.
You don't know.
You're in denial.
Yeah, it looks way nicer on PC VR, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
that it's gonna not be able to live up to the hype of After the Fall, but let's watch this Tetris commercial.
I got to get it first.
Oh no!
Well, and here's on that point.
the
Like,
bear hath
this-
spoken.
this goes to like any video game reality because there's always variety. But in VR, like the differences between games are so fun, and that's why I like the variety. Variety is the spice of life. Like After the Fall is first-person shooter, boom, boom, and then you got a super relaxing, kind of like trippy psychedelic game, or then you're like doing Moss, and it's a fun little mouse, and you know,
Well, no,
like
I'll tell you what. After the Fall, like ramps you up, and Tetris does the opposite, but in a good way. Like that's my sell.
Let's see. Let's see it. I'm
I
interested.
love this thing.
Oh no!
I'll show you the side of the world, the places that you'll never see. Come follow me.
It's hard. It doesn't quite do it justice again to watch
It doesn't.
Looks pretty dang
Because when you're in the
psychedelic.
VR, it's coming all around you, it's like all behind you.
What could you be afraid of if I'm right here with you? You know everything will change. Show me what you are made of, 'cause I'm always with you. Come
It's wild
on,
to
we
see.
could leave today.
God, gotta tell you.
Look at this world we're made for. Come with me, we'll take tomorrow. Everything you want is waiting for you. Take it in, the light surrounds us. Perfect love is all around us. Everything you need is waiting
So what that didn't show was what they just added. So that was the game before they just did a major update, and in their first major update, they released a expansive multiplayer, and then they did it again. So there are now 6 different multiplayer modes, and each one is very different from each other. And they have like a 3v1, a 1v3 where you're actually the boss, and you have like all those attack abilities. to like use on everyone else trying to beat you. And then they have just straight up verses. But it's really cool if you just want to vibe and chill. But it's not like an everyday type of, you know. It's fun
Right,
for
so-
To hear that they learned from Tetris 99, which was a worthless experiment that sucked to play because it would just put you against 99
Oh,
random
dude, it
people
was
you
so
didn't know. There was
bad.
no way to team up with your friends at all, and it
Yeah.
was just faceless. They could have been computers, and it wouldn't
this
have
feels
mattered,
like
so.
Tetris as like a game, like historically in the gaming community, running a victory lap. That's what it feels like when you play it.
So
That's awesome.
I mean, I already bought the game. If I hadn't bought it 20 minutes ago after watching that trailer, I would be buying it. Like, it's expensive, but I mean,
The
That looks
love they
good.
put into that game,
It does look
man.
good.
Yeah, and we've talked about with other games. Sometimes it doesn't. Things don't feel. I know, Bonely. I know. I dig it. And just to be-
go play
to
your
be
roller
fair-
coaster game and just get out of here.
Yeah, and just to be fair, not all songs are like that. Like the
And
music
not-
variety
Tetris
changes
just
up.
isn't for everybody, you know?
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
too, and that
You're
too.
wrong.
But one of the things that's great about the game, it's not just. I mean,
It's
Their
got my heart
matchmaking could be
thumping
better.
before with the binaural beats, and the controllers vibrate with it too, with the music.
oh
It's
yeah,
awesome.
oh, it's weird.
It's probably what I'm going to be
What-
jumping into after the show because that looks super nice.
Yeah, and the matchmaking
no.
could be better, but
Oh,
it's fun.
no.
But the menus are otherwise they're clean. Everything
What?
feels good. Never experienced any kind of lag or like
It's the
any
only
issue.
game I'm ever going to play again.
Yeah.
Just Tetris.
Kitty
else?
is Tetris.
I thought she already had it.
I thought she had it also.
So,
So
Matt
what we're
just said one of the people in our guild just got.
Oh, I
after the
thought I
fall.
thought so also. I thought that happened.
Wait, what?
Well, we
She's-
play it. What are you
she-
talking
No,
about?
she's gonna
Wait, yeah.
think. She's gonna think that we're not gonna play after the fall, but that's not the case. But we have such a horrible track record.
It's not a track record. We just run in, we enjoy a game, and then kind of get bored. Like, that's how video games work.
It's very
Um,
true.
I mean, you go back to them
I
eventually.
can. You go back. Exactly. I mean, there'll be a time when we go back
After the
in
fall
and
doesn't feel like a
enjoy.
game that I'm not
a lot
gonna
of
be in
games.
for a while. I'm gonna be in there for a while.
Do you think Katie, that sometime we might go back in and enjoy?
I don't have any
That was-
faith that they, at this point, will make that game in the direction of anything that I want. I see changes being made towards the direction I don't want. And
Yeah.
so
It's-
that tells me that what they end up with might be a great product, but it's not for me.
Forgetting what was the timeline on Elysium? I knew it was this year. What's the next? one?
Alicia.
Elysium.
It's important that you say it right.
Yeah, you're actually right.
Beta 2. Is that what they're calling it?
I forget if
The
it was.
next
Yeah.
beta was supposed to be July-ish, maybe August-ish.
Okay, that's what
So
I thought.
that
So it's
should be
up.
coming up pretty soon. And Sir Maldo cannot play it. And then
I bought in.
oh, did you buy in on it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like, I mean, it. So I know I'm gonna like Alicia. Like, just the beta gameplay has me convinced that I'm gonna lose myself in that game. It's what I wanted from the other game, and you know, you can't fly in Alicia, but you know what? You can do a bunch of fun shit. That's kind of the thing. Like,
As
you
long as they
know,
don't
give
give
me
it to you,
fun
and
stuff
take it
to
away.
do. I mean, it's such a like, I don't know. This is we'll spend 5 minutes just pissing on that game for a minute because we have a tendency to just get lost in being mad at it.
It wasn't
I
as
mean,
bad as we make
taking-
it sound, I feel like, but it's just
It's
it's just so
not.
it's that we just wanted it to be fun so bad, and if you want that, you're going against high
That's-
expectations.
and that's the problem is we see what it could be. You know, there's a lot of potential in that game, and you know, there's a point where it feels like they're just kind of saying "fuck you" to people
We'll just
that
do more
want to have fun in that
instead of
game.
make this better.
Well, it's
yeah,
frustrating, not out of hatred or thinking that the game is shit.
It feels
It's
like a
frustration
squandering
out
of talent.
it's disappointment. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's
I really
disappointing.
like the way
That's it.
that Zay put it. It's just basically they have discontinued the product that we liked before. You know, like they've moved
Yes.
on to producing a
Well,
different product,
and
and that's their prerogative. Whatever.
and they could have gotten rid of Fast Flying and still made it a fun game. The problem I run into
Was the
is
underlying
during the
content
public
fine?
test realm.
Dude,
It's not. That's the point. Like during the test realm, I helped like 6 or 7 different people do that climb. So I was doing it constantly. And when the game came out, I didn't want to do it again because I also did the raid and did other stuff in the public test realm. I was like, you know what? There's no rewards from it that are worth it. It's not a rewarding experience. And then the dungeons themselves aren't really fun. So all you're doing is grinding for something that doesn't matter. And you
And-
know, it's a time gate, and you know, you should only have time gates placed on things that matter. So I will grind the shit out of picking carrots if it lets me do something really fun. But if grinding the shit out of carrots just lets me grind the shit out of apples, why the fuck would I want to do that?
And I might be
You know.
wrong. I know some of them may have done it before since last week. But in this past week, at least it might have been before that again. But how many of us have uninstalled Ode?
Uninstalled.
Yeah,
Can't raise his bare hand, but I think he's.
yeah.
hopping over.
I haven't
I-
yet. And Boney still has
Oh.
it, surprisingly.
Oh,
I mean, it only takes
Didn't
5 minutes to
uninstall, though.
install. It only takes 5 minutes to install, and it's just taking up space.
Yeah,
on the
I
I
know
feel like-
it's not a
I
big
didn't-
deal.
system.
I didn't need the
It's
room,
not a-
so I was like, whatever, it's there.
It's-
I
But-
still haven't
Yeah,
done the
it's-
climb, so I feel like I have to
I
do
could
it
always
just to get
reinstall
mad at
it.
it again, and
It's
then
just- I don't think I'm going to
Then
be in it
I'll
for
be
long enough to
good.
where it doesn't make sense to have it on my hard drive.
I mean that's really it for me. Is you know there'll be a time when someone wants to play, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll jump in, and I'll take 5 minutes to install it. The thing I'm most worried about is I'm gonna have to put in my name and password, and I haven't put that in since the game came out.
Like if
So I
I'm
have
not
no
in
clue.
it long enough that it's going to be, I have no idea.
That's exactly
Um,
why I didn't uninstall it. Because I was like, if that once
But-
that's uninstalled for me, that's going for good.
But I do-
Well, so as
I
long as you
do
don't clear your
wanna
temp
hold it.
files, you should be fine.
Yeah,
As long as you don't clear your
Should
temp
be.
files, you should be fine.
Right.
but I mean,
Yeah,
it's really-
they could
Wow.
update
Those
the
got the
game
kitty
far
out.
enough to where the temp files aren't,
that means it's almost wrap time.
but it really could be. There's still a lot of hope for the game. There's still things they can do. There's ways they can fix it. They just have to. God, they have to take their community seriously. And I know right now they're trying to take their game seriously, but the fact of the matter is they had a fun game that was full of bugs and it really wasn't great, but it was fun. Now they have a game
but the
that's
game
still pretty
wasn't
full of
Zenith.
bugs.
It was mess with Zenith's maps.
And not even that. Like it was fun, but you know, it was a good, enjoyable experience, even with the bugs and everything else. Like, you know, we sat there for weeks and we just did invasions. We did world boss and invasions, and we had a good time. Make the cat the stream mascot. Siberian. Yeah, she's got my vote too. Kitty would be a great mascot for the show. But you know, shit, and now we're back on that stupid topic.
that was my fault, I think.
But no, not the
All
cat.
your
It was your
fault.
fault.
Blaming you. Matt is a pot leaf. Things are
But
going
yeah,
down.
the really good news is that we do still have a ton of games that we're playing, and a lot of things that you know
Keep it going. Keep it going.
we've got. You know, right now we've got After the Fall. Next week we're going to be playing Tetris all week. You know, yeah, and After the
not
Fall, I
co-signing
haven't really
that game.
put a lot of my input on the game because I've only played it for like maybe 3 hours, 4 or 5 hours.
Dude, After the
It
Fall
is-
is such a good game. It's
One,
such a
it
good
is beautiful on PC VR. Like
Every gun
this
feels
is-
different. Once you do manual reloading long enough on higher difficulties, it's such a fun game.
yeah.
What are you saying? It's not fun if you're not doing it? Huh? We
He's
trying
just
to
still
say?
better
fun.
than you, okay?
We trying to
Yeah.
say there, brother?
Yeah.
No, to me,
I just want to brag.
yeah, no,
When
it's
I'm
not
when I'm
bragging
not
to me.
playing
If you
seriously.
whatever makes it fun to you, I think that's good. But to me, like it helps with the immersion of VR. Like having that gun and doing the pop the clip out, load it back in. I like that. I think it's fun. Yeah, that's what
It's
it looks
why
like.
we play
Whenever I'm-
VR. You
doing some
know,
stuff.
Yeah.
like
It
if you
feels
just
very
slap the gun
combat
down at your
immersive.
waist, that's like you're playing
It can
Time Crisis or a game like that.
Bullshit.
But when you
Bullshit.
gotta sit
That's
there,
not
slap the
true.
clap in,
That's
rack
not
the
fucking
Yo,
true.
it's
You're
so
still
true.
in there.
It's
You're
true.
still running
It's
around.
yeah,
You're
it makes
still
the game a
doing stuff.
little bit
Man,
harder, but it's better.
Man, it's
It is.
still
It's
fun regardless. It's still
Oh, it's
fun
fun
regardless.
regardless. You're just
Sermaldo's
missing
got
out
a
on
stick.
an extra piece of
Okay,
gameplay.
okay, I've got it.
No,
So there's a
not to
first-person
not
shooter
asked
game
to do that. You're
that I can't
rewarded
wait
doing the
for. Oh
opposite.
God, look what you've done, Kitty.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. I have
No,
the power.
give the pot leaf the power.
Okay, so there's a first-person shooter game that I can't wait to come out for Quest. I played the demo of it on Steam a while back when I was playing on Vive. It's called Compound, and maybe we can bring up a trailer for it next episode or something. It's done in a retro style. It's very reminiscent of like the original Doom. If any of you guys ever played Doom.
mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of different weapons, but it's like 3D with like retro style graphics, and
Oh, you know what? I saw that. I saw a trailer for that.
it was so much fun back when it was a concept of a demo. And for the full game to be releasing sometime soon, I don't know the exact date, but I'm really excited for that game. I will
Yeah, I'll
probably
play that
buy
one.
it on the Oculus Store and on Steam eventually. Like,
The trailers are 4 years old for that game. Are you sure it's coming out?
hold on.
Uh,
Yes, I am.
Where's Budo's news on this? Where do you stand on this, Budo?
You don't know what the fuck is going on with the news.
That's why you're the perfect newsman.
Oh shit! I guess we got to make sure that all of us come up with the news every week, just in case Budo's a winging.
You know this. I'm just joking. I really.
I mean, even an old
Budo's-
trailer would be good.
Budo's news is that when he has the news, everybody else has the news besides him.
He's got the kitty.
Yes. Are we?
Are we doing one right now, or are we gonna wait till?
Yeah.
next
No,
week?
no, we're not gonna
Okay.
wait.
Okay,
There's no waiting.
Don't wait.
this game was a lot of fun. I'm really excited
But
for a more
have
fleshed out
you-
version of it.
Have you confirmed that it is actually coming out?
It says that it's leaving early access on Steam soon, and that the Quest 2 version is to follow. So it
Okay.
will be coming out on Quest 2 eventually, but there's just not a
Okay,
release date yet.
Okay.
But I'm stoked for it because it's got that perfect retro vibe on the like sprites and skins and stuff. But it's VR. It's so perfect. Kind of arcadey.
Oh, I heard about this too.
You can dodge the bullets. It's got a little bit of stealth to it. There's a total
Like a
game
lot of
vibe to it.
guns.
Lots of different guns.
Oh, this is a perfect example of how graphics don't always matter.
Oh, sometimes it's the games with the like least graphics that are the most fun.
Well, I still playing on standalone, and this is awesome because it means they don't have to sacrifice gameplay.
Yep.
This already looks a lot better than when I played it, and this trailer's like 3 years old. See, it says Oculus.
Yeah, that was fun.
Cool.
What's up with the ominous phone call?
It's the call to the show's over. Thanks for coming, folks. Have
Yep.
a great night.
Have a great night, everybody.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us, and yeah,
See you next week because you
See
can't
you.
stop us from doing this.
No.